Hi, I'm Jess Pressland, the CEO of the JP Group. I've been developing managers for over 20 years. In this podcast, I'm going to be sharing my stories and insights to where leaders get it wrong and what they can do to get it right, wherever you are in your leadership journey. In this episode, we're going to be looking at recognition, the leadership tool most leaders underestimate. Recognition is really important in the workplace because people need to feel that they're valued and that their contribution matters. And yet it's so underused. And also with recognising someone's contribution in the workplace. I always say to people, to tell people they're doing a good job properly doesn't cost you anything. Why are you not doing it? People, we're all different and everyone wants different degrees of recognition. And first of all, I'd seek that. So it's linked to your motivation. And there's very simple tools that you can use to establish people's motivation. And sometimes a leader might go, well, I don't need to be told I'm doing a great job. So they don't tell others. And you may have someone in your team who actually recognition is a really important motivation factor. Like, I love it. Like, you can tell me I'm doing a great job as many times as you like. I do appreciate that not everyone is like me, but to varying degrees. So we need to recognise that. If you're a leader who's thinking, well, I don't need it, to me who loves it, there's a big spectrum there. So you need to establish it because we need to do it. But it's underused because a lot of leaders think, well, they know they're doing a good job. I don't need to. And what they don't realise is this isn't about having a standing ovation. It doesn't need to be some massive thing, but people do need to know. And also particularly if you're a manager who gives constructive feedback, where we're really happy to tell people when they're doing things not the right way, but we're not recognising when they are. And if I do see managers who think they give recognition, they give recognition where they say, good job today, guys. Good job. Well done today. And they think that's it. And then probably people listening going, well, so I tell my team they've done a good job today. That is not enough. And that's not what actual recognition looks like. So recognising someone's contribution is not doing a generic well done. So that's the first point. People actually, what they do need to do is they need to tell them what they've done well. So usually it's individual, unless a team has pulled together. So I might say, well done to my team for all mucking in this afternoon and getting that out on time. Okay. So because it's a team effort, the team gets recognised together. Quite often in a team, their contributions are not the same. And so somebody who has done a really good job can actually get really disheartened by the fact that it was done as a group event, because actually they're sitting there thinking, well, he or she hasn't done anything. Well, they didn't make as much contribution as me. So sometimes doing it as a team isn't actually like the best way to do it. You only genuinely do it as a team if generally everybody in the team has worked towards something that you're recognising. Team or individual, that matters. Is it an individual or a team contribution? You need to tell them what it is specifically that they've done well today. So well done with meeting that deadline. Well done with how you dealt with that difficult customer today. So specifically, what have they done well? And some people will go, yeah, I do that. I do the well done. I tell them what it is. And then there's a third part to it, which is why it matters, which is the well done with dealing with that difficult customer today, because they're now happy and they're staying with us. And as you know, we're trying to grow our business and therefore keeping our customers is super important to us. So thank you for that. What they did and why it matters. And the so what is what gets missed, I would probably say in about 95% of recognition that's delivered. And that's about that feeling valued, because we will speak on other episodes around people having purpose, but recognition is a really good way of making people feel valued. And also you've got to think they're likely to stay. So if you're thinking about, I give it, and they're likely to stay with an organisation because I feel seen. They stay engaged. They're more likely to go the extra mile. So actually, when you do these things, there are huge amounts of benefits from doing it. They're more likely to support a colleague and they'll stay with you as a business because they feel valued and recognised. And if they don't, then their motivation drops and they may leave and they stop supporting people. So actually, there's the two sides. It's not just because they need it, because it's a motivational factor, but actually as a business, you then get benefits from it and you get massive disadvantages if you don't. So it is free. Please use it and use it wisely. If you've got team members that are your like shining stars and that seems to be the one that gets the recognition, there's a couple of things. Usually if you give recognition, quite a lot of people then want to step up because they then go, oh, I want a bit of that too. So it can actually act as a motivator to push them up. If not, they're the ones that probably need those private conversations around the way you need to give feedback around what it is that they need to do. And if they're not quite getting there, then you have a role as a leader to ensure that you're supporting them, because part of your role as a leader is to ensure that people are successful in their job role. So if they're not being successful in their job role, then you need to look at what support they need from you. Do they need training? Do they need coaching? Do they need additional resources? What do they need to enable them to achieve so that they can get it too. Sometimes just you giving it to someone else gives them that little motivational push. If not, I'd be looking at myself as a leader to think, what additional support can I give to this individual? Because my role is to ensure that they are successful. And it isn't about telling people what to do, because lots of people will say, oh, but I tell them what to do. That's just the first step of being a leader, is we need to make sure that everyone has clarity in what they're doing. So they have that direction. I know what I should be doing. I know my expectations and standards. And then the other part of that role is to make sure that your everyday job as a leader is to make sure that I ensure that they're successful. And motivating people and recognizing that is actually part of your everyday job. It's just not done every day by lots of people. You can do this too often and you don't want to dilute it. So what you don't want to do, and there's a real balance between that, it's recognizing things that do make a difference. And it's, again, this is a bit of a how long is a piece of string question, but it does take your judgment to be thinking what needs recognizing. But I'd certainly be making recognition every week, every month, not necessarily every day. So it's not, you don't want overkill, but real balance between, and also looking for those things that they're doing. Not that you're recognizing, oh, they did that yesterday and they did that today. So I'm going to say today, I want to say, well done for doing that. And then the next time I want to say that. So you're not repeating the same things. They're different things that make a difference to people. So it is really important. You don't want to overuse it or repeat the same thing, because then that's just really transparent. So look for those things that make a difference, know the people that need it, and make sure that you give it. Thank you for listening to this episode. Visit our website, thejpgroup.org, the podcast page, where you can download our workbook that accompanies this series for you to take what you've heard and put it into practice.